that. Okay, so I'm going to have to go through and... That's going to take time. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Oh, yeah, I did want to talk about that. Dude, I totally forgot. But, let's see. That's all Conspiranalysis. I did a lot of that last time. I want to talk more about paranormal stuff. We talked about that. Did I talk about
these nuts?
It wouldn't still be on here if I talked about if I talked about these nuts. It wouldn't be on that Bigfoot and the military encounter on the base. That's okay. Well, oh yeah, that's I'll talk about that too. I think what I'll do. Alright, I think I got a pretty good idea. Now, welcome back to Cold Open. Oh, you got me on that one. See, I told you. If you do it when I'm not looking, I'm not paying attention. I even now that I'm thinking about it, I heard the click, but it didn't click. So, welcome back to a totally new episode that's not filmed right after the last one. That's great. See? We've got proof. We got different outfits on. So, alright. I wanted to start. Well, so, how's your day been, John?
How's your week going?
How's your week go?
Shaggy?
Yeah, it went just like last episode.
I heard you've been delving into the AI thing.
Yeah, a lot of Chad GPT stuff and all that blah blah blah. Okay, so now that we're past all that, paranormal talk, right? You know, on this paranormal podcast of ours, where we hadn't talked about hardly any paranormal stuff. As far as para-holix goes, I'm still working on 1899 Bolton Street House. That's like 2 nights of footage. I am almost through the first night, I think, which was all the stuff by myself. The second night, Rory joined me from Phantasma, Texas. Shout out. That's my part of the San Antonio Parapeeps out there. And then I'm also, at the same time, still going through Old Park Hotel footage that I've teamed up with, Damien and Nicole from Indie Para House and Parapeculiar Podcast and the Real Ghost of Podcast and their Parabrubs, from their Patreon people. I still got all that footage to go through, and I'm taking my time because of, finances and bills and the way everything is, and this year, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of para-holix stuff, so I'm going to have all of that to slowly trickle out on the YouTubes and the Instagrams and the TikToks. In between all of that, the paranormal guys are going to be doing some stuff. In fact, I've still got, some Earthman memory gardens to go through, I think it is.
So you don't even remember. It's been so long ago.
But I am going to, because this is what we're doing now, whenever we do something, it's going to get bumped to the front of the line, because I'm also tired of looking at the same footage. There's only so many, hours I can spend staring at the same hole, the same room. I need some new footage to stare at. But I have taken your advice on how to go through
Speed it up?
Yes, because what I was doing, I was sitting there, it takes longer your way, but still, it's a more honest way of going through it. Because, okay, let me back up. One reason why this, tripod static footage is even here is because after the loud banging footstep stuff that I experienced, I put cameras out. I wasn't going to do that. But if you'd have been there and heard and experienced what I did, you'd have wanted to put cameras out too, because it was like, dude, if that happens again, because I didn't get it the first time. I only got a crappy version through her security cameras. Because I wasn't filming. And it's like, dude, it's like that every time. I'm like, I don't want all this stupid footage to go through. I'm not filming. Something fucking happens.
Yeah, how many times did we not set up static cams, then we heard something, and then we're like, oh, we should put one. And then nothing happens after that.
That's literally exactly what happened. So I'm half-assed going through this footage going, I know nothing happened. Yeah, I was there, nothing else happened. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, but what if there was a get out whispered on the camera, or I saw a little shadow go by, and I'm like, if I don't at least go through it, you know. So I was sitting there just like, whoosh. I'm in iMovie, and I got my finger on it, and I'm just like zipping through it like that, which, you know, it's something, but you still risk the chance of missing something because you're going through it too fast, and you're not hearing anything. Mm-hmm. So your way of just speeding it up, and it's crazy too. I don't know if you've ever gone through any footage like that, or you just suggested it just because. When you're listening to it, it speeds it up, but it also sounds so much louder and closer than it actually is.
It's because you're hearing that it's like white noise, you know, any little sound, you're hearing the pieces closer together.
Yes.
It's being sped up.
That's got to be what it is. Because the first time I was doing it, I was like hearing noises. I'm like, dude, I had to slow it back down. I'm like, what is this? It was me downstairs, but it sounded like up there with me. And I'm like, what? So it took, you know, I had to get used to that. But going through it this way, you know, it takes basically what it does is it takes the almost, what does it break down to? Like about 16, 17 minute files. And it cuts it in half. So it's like 8 minutes now, and you're watching it super fast.
Maybe 6 or 7.
Oh.
You said 16, 17.
Oh, man.
It was already...
John up in here capping.
I mean, you don't even have to go over the footage. You could just be like, you know what? I don't think anything happened because nothing happened while I was... And then just delete it.
That's what I was going to do, honestly.
But I know you pay to go to some of these places, and you got the footage.
Yep.
So it's like you paid for that footage.
Exactly. No, that's exactly how I look at it. I paid a lot for this footage because no one else was able to go until the second night. Rory did join me, but again, he wasn't going to go, so it wasn't planned out. He had to drive almost twice as far as I did with a car he was etch-a-sketchy about. So I didn't ask him for anything. I was actually just kind of happy he came because I was like, at first,
what she said.
Don't. Well, he probably does quite often, and before she does, so she's probably not as happy. But it's taken some time to go through all this footage. But so again, when we have something, it's gonna be bumped to the front of the line so we can have some actual paranormal content from the paranormal guys. It'll end up on the Pairacast podcast. Yay!
Yay!
There's too much para. I almost said Paraspective again.
Skype and sign language.
Jazz hands.
Those spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
Yeah.
So there's that. But as far as paranormal stuff goes for us this year, I'm gonna throw this back at you. What would you like to see us accomplish this year, paranormally speaking?
Well, thanks for watching.
God, dang it, John. Here I'm trying to throw the ball to you, dude. Come on.
Yeah. I know, and I deflated it, but
we've talked, we've kicked around some ideas, but we haven't landed the plane on anything specifically yet.
Well, I'm still easing myself into it. I've only done one, loosely speaking, investigation. Because that was more of a, hey, we got some ideas, let's put it together and try it out.
It was more of a
test
gear
run.
test.
Yeah, so I haven't done
which was good because we learned a lot.
I haven't done a full-on investigation. I built that thing over there.
Yeah.
Underneath my beanie. Like what? How many months ago? With the car, the dash cam.
Yeah.
I built that like 2 or 3 months ago. Haven't even used it yet.
Before that crazy winter storm kicked in, I charged everything up. I had batteries loaded, ready to go. In fact, I need to take those out probably. But
so I'm not like full on. I got to do a paid investigation or travel.
I wasn't even talking about that, but I mean, we can talk about that. But
I'm not like full on. I have to do that. Right now, I feel like my baby is this podcast.
Yep. Oh, no, definitely.
Now that I started editing for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but wouldn't it be nice to do this, to take your baby on the road and do it in like a haunted location?
Oh yeah, because that's going to be the analog version.
Ooh. Oh man, that's gonna be sick, dude.
We'll have the 2 cameras set up and or 1 camera, depending. You know, it doesn't really matter, and edit all that together, and then we can have an audio that's analog for the, what do they call it now? Apple Podcast.
Yeah, Apple Podcast.
Instead of iTunes.
Yeah.
Apple Podcast. Okay.
I mean, basically, like, and you remember that this is how it is. If we wanted to do something this year, we would need to forecast out, pick a month, forecast out, go ahead and reserve, but we'd have to do all that. So I know for myself, the first part of this year, I can't, because I'm just too much debt, too much, everything, the expenses have gone crazy. The economy's in the toilet. It's bad right now. Mm-hmm. I would like, if I had it my way, we would do one pay-to-play this year, somewhere cool, somewhere close. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about a road trip, but someplace close. And it'd be a place that you have not gone to, for sure. Which there are, in the last 5 years, there's some places we could go. And in between that, do some, other stuff like we've talked about, some cemetery hopping, Ghost Road, maybe, places like that. There's places we hadn't been in forever, dude. Mm-hmm. Patterson Road, we ain't been there in about a minute.
Which one is that?
That was the one, the blue light. It was called Blue Light Cemetery.
That's the one we went out in the woods?
That's when we went out in the woods, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we obviously can't do that again, but...
Well, I wouldn't go with just us.
Well, yeah. Just us and a couple machetes. That's it.
I mean, looking back at that, it's like we weren't even fully prepared.
Nah,
we had a good group though.
We did, yeah.
So that was fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Huck was packing.
We need better planning.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Huck was always packing.
But all of our phones were dying.
All our phones were dying. Yeah,
flashlights dying.
We were
cameras
surrounded
dying.
by snakes. They were everywhere. Oof.
Yeah.
God bless, dude. We walked into that one spot with that snake den.
Yeah, it was
sir.
It was like in the movies.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Indiana Jones out there in the jungle. That was not good. I did not like it. But, you think back at some of the places we've gone, some of the crazy adventures we've had. I really want to get back into some of that. That would be fun. But, there are some places. There's even some places I haven't been yet that are closer that I think we could go to. There's one in particular, and again, there are a ton. There's a handful of Paraheads that I'm always bumping into. Local people. I found another one the other day. What was their team called? Damn it, that's gonna bug me. But I posted. Did you see the sinkhole on I-10?
Yes.
Crazy, dude. Was late to work that night because of that, because it backed up the traffic, and he had like a couple hours. And I posted it on Instagram. And one of these other teams that I know of, I've interacted, or I've seen posts of theirs and everything. They teamed up with Ghost Seekers of Texas, which is Alex and his group, younger group, from San Antonio, and they've done some work with them. I didn't know they were in Houston, and he saw that post of mine, and he asked, where I live, how close am I to Houston? I was like, oh, dude, I'm close, 30 minutes maybe. He's like, ooh, we got to team up. So there's another one, and then before that there was what they call themselves, Paranormal Skeptics. Is a crew of 2 brothers and a friend, and I'm like, well, that's how we've operated before. And they just went to it's a Halloween place, Texas Scaregrounds. They used to operate out of Old Nazareth Hospital, which if I could, as far as big locations go, if I could take you to a place that we've been to, it would be that one. That was hands down the greatest hospital we've ever investigated. I would go back there over every other one we've ever been to. So awesome, dude.
It had breathable air.
It had breathable air. They had porta potties. You could use the bathroom, but it is an abandoned building like a lot of them are. But it had the camera set up. We had a room like full of monitors and cameras everywhere. Really awesome. But it was less about that and more about what we experienced there. You know, the location itself was really nice. You know, it wasn't like, I mean, it's an abandoned building, but it wasn't like Yorktown or Yoakum abandoned, or Palestine, which was another hospital you didn't get to go to. That one's been torn down. Palestine, Texas. Whew, that place, my God, dude, it was bad, dude. But they don't operate it, and I think we've talked about this before. They got booted out, fire marshal bill. They were letting people go up too high. They got, you know, some guy died of a heart attack. It was like a 7-story building, I think. The top story being not much bigger than a room. It was small, but still, you're up and down them stairs, dude. God bless. No, this is just, I just want to talk about some nerdgasm news here. Last time we talked, it was video game related.
Last time on Pairacast Z.
Oh no, this is all horror movie related. I'm watching this movie, Whisper of the Witch, and what I've been doing is I'll watch YouTube trailers and I'll be like, ooh, that looks good, and I'll save it to a list, and I'll wait for it to come out because I have a site that I use to watch my movies. Sometimes, if it's not a big budget movie, it makes its way to Tubi pretty quickly, and so I'll watch it there because, you know, I prefer to do that. It saves its place, it saves your place and everything. These websites don't. But I'm watching it and I'm sitting there going, man, is this dubbed? It looks, feels, and sounds like it's dubbed. And I got to looking at it.
The Whispers?
Yeah, Whisper of the Witch. It was a Russian horror movie that was horribly dubbed in English. Oh my God, it's so bad, dude. I have never laughed that hard during a horror movie in my life. If you muted it, it would be pretty scary, dude. The visuals are great. But the audio, the way they talk, because it's just not bad. It's whole-on sentences and phrases is not how we speak. They put words together in a way we don't do, and it makes it hilarious, dude. I laughed till I was crying. It was so good. And this is supposed to be a serious, scary horror movie. It even says, huh?
You were watching the wrong movie. You were watching Whispers of Backwind.
Yeah, it felt like it. Because it even says, this was a Screen Rant posting about it. It says, Whispers of the Witch review, the bad dubbing killed any hope for this intriguing horror movie's potential. And that was spot on, dude. And I even said, I think I even got a quote here on, like, the dialogue is also so bad in the dubbing. They say words and phrases, sometimes whole sentences that do not sound like something Americans would say. Come for the horror, stay for the comedy.
See, it was auto-dubbed. And the trend...
I didn't even think about that.
I can tell you, it was auto-dubbed, and it got lost in translation. It directly translated the words. Yeah. Instead of the sentence meaning, you know?
Well, some are, according to this, the article I read, because there's also something kind of off with the audio, like... they're in a room or a big area. There's no echo like you would expect. So it's like a sound booth. And the audio, the pitch, it doesn't match the actual location. So like even when it's outside. So it seems more like they actually, did it in a booth. And it's just bad, dude. So bad.
I mean, they could have done it live, but... while watching it and just recording, but they didn't change anything for the scenery, in editing or nothing.
No.
Yeah, but they probably just translated the words. People who...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this word means this word means... And they just translated it literal.
And the acting, too, the way they act out the words, it doesn't match the, the emotion and the energy of what's happening. It's just, oh, God. I found myself laughing so hard.
When you get paid minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. and they're like...
Yeah, we got it.
Because they don't know. They're like, they translated for us. Now the whole world get to watch. And then
you pay extra for the Russian.
The whole world's laughing at them, and they don't even know. They're like, man, we got tons of views.
So bad, dude. So bad it was good. That was Nerdgasm for you. Now to shift topics into a quite darker topic. That's actually more horror.
Do I need to turn off the lights?
You might want to turn on the lights. No, we wanted to... Are they even gonna still? Oh yeah. Oh, that's kind of spooky. Well, this is interesting.
Sorry about the color tone. Modified camera.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's Can they see? Well, they can't see Spider-Man anymore. He's back there.
You can.
A little bit, I guess.
That's all.
We talked about in an earlier episode some of the nonsense that's been going on in Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. Do you remember anything about that?
I was thinking scary. I didn't know what direction you were going.
I said dark. I didn't say scary. I said it's gonna get dark. I was like,
okay, we gotta get all serious now.
I mean, there are people taking this extremely seriously, unfortunately. I want to state right up front that we're not, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm not a political guy.
I'm not either.
I'm 53. I've never voted in my life, and I never will, because both sides are full of shit and lie all the time.
Whew. 53.
Yeah, I'm like, whoop. I was like, damn it. But I think they're puppets anyway, The very idea that you can vote somebody, that they would let, that the powers that shouldn't be, the corporations, the rich, influential families, all these individuals, and a whole host of, the military-industrial complex people who are never even pretended to be voted on. They're in there for whatever. Nancy Pelosi, this political hag, she was in politics when John F. Kennedy was president. What? Term limits. Get them out of here. But that's how you know it's all fake. It's not real. It's like watching wrestling. These people, you are allowed to believe you get to vote on someone that's going to be in the office of the presidency for 4 years, 8 if they're lucky. And you think that puppet is actually in charge? Please. Please, man. But people believe it, and they are adamant about it. And it's like watching, speaking of the Super Bowl just happened, these people are cheering for their person like it's their team. I don't buy that crap. Not even for a second. What are your thoughts on that?
So you're telling me this is all pre-planned? It's all fake?
I think so. I think politics is complete bullshit. I completely, dude.
I couldn't hold a straight face that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You were trying. That's what cracks me up when you see these people all the time talking, YouTubers and others. You need to get out there. Your vote counts. You need to get...
Okay, when it comes to the sports, though, I'm not one who is 100% on it's all fake. Because I know, some sports probably can be. But other ones, I think it's harder to fake, but easy to guide.
That's it. And that's why I say it's more like watching wrestling, because as you know, wrestling was scripted, but they went out there.
The NBA changed their stance some couple years back, and the newest commissioner, I forget how long he's been commissioner, it's a few years now, pre-COVID I think, and he said it's entertainment.
That's what I was just going to say. They started calling it sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Football's doing the same thing, I think. And I'm like, wrestling entertainment, sports entertainment, they're telling you in the title, that it's not real. not real like you think it is. You know, we saw that. I watched a little bit of it.
Now, unless there's like for basketball, unless there's magnets in the hoop, you know, I mean, the players, they're professional. Right. They're going to be able to get the ball to the hoop.
Right.
Right? Unless somebody blocks it because they're not supposed to, you know, they can't always make the shot.
Right.
So, unless there's magnets in there making it happen,
right.
That's why I say that they have to guide it with calls and phantom fouls.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and look up the reviews. Oh, that wasn't a flop. You know, that was a foul. You know, stuff like that. There's other ways.
But being professional, they could also miss a shot on purpose.
That they can do. Yes.
Which is what I think we saw some in this most recent. And again, this wasn't where I was going with this, but it's good. It'll still kind of segue. The whole what was it? The Patriots. And the Seahawks, which some have pointed out, the Seahawk, the bird, sort of resembles a Spanish bird or Mexican emblem. So there's people, and they may be stretching.
I can give it more native style.
Native, there you go.
Style.
There are those that were claiming that's what this political Super Bowl was about, and the Patriots got destroyed. They had Bad Bunny, who I don't know anything about. He was performing the Super Bowl halftime. But, what was that group that Charlie Kirk had started? The Turning Point USA, his Christian, Republican conservative.
Yeah, there was an alternate halftime.
An alternate halftime. Yeah. Which I didn't see, but that was with Kid Rock and a bunch of country singers and all this.
Yeah.
America, fuck yeah, you know, all that shit. And it was hilarious to me.
It's like the what was it? The old America's Funniest Home Videos theme. America, this is you. You know.
Yes, and that's what it reminds me of. And I find all of this aspect of it hilarious. I really feel like I when I'm watching all this, that I'm seeing people fight over Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and who really won and all that. They're like, no, and arguing, and I'm like, y'all realize this is all staged, right? You realize this, you know, this whole political, they call it political theater for a reason.
There's lots of money in the background between these oligarchs, you know, billionaire, wealthy people. Yeah, being moved, and that's what it's all about.
For me to take it seriously at all, they would have to go to a complete paper ballot and have a legitimate, multi-tiered, backed up, counted system where, you know, there was no fraud. They'd have to get rid of term limits for some of these crusty hags that are still in, you know, making billions in the political sphere. They'd have to absolutely get rid of lobbying. No, that's gone, dude. You don't get to come in because you got money and you got a powerful corporation and you can lobby to get your bills passed, to get your, you know, no, that's got to go, because that's not of the people, by the people, certainly not for the people. That shit got to go. And until all that's gone, I'm not even going to waste my time with it. But that's what some were claiming. You saw because the Patriots, for those that don't remember, the Patriots won the Super Bowl right after 9/11.
Yeah, there's an American thing. Yeah.
Come on. You know, I don't even remember who they were up against. I have no idea, because I'm not a sports guy. But there were so many times where this kid, I mean, and we looked him up, he was 23. This kid was their quarterback, Babyface Nelson. No, for currently.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy for the little, just a kid.
Yeah, he looks like he was straight out of high school.
Dude, for real. Yeah. But again, like Jay Mello pointed out, he was there to get them to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I guess he's got some skills. But there was a couple times where he threw the ball to nobody. He threw the ball to the other guy. That happened at least once that I saw. And it's like, what?
Well, the throwing the ball to nobody, though. Like, if they're going to throw it, you know, out of bounds, they do that on purpose. So.
Well, not this particular time. I'm talking about
interceptions.
The guy cut up, and then he went that way, and he waited till he went that way to then throw the ball. Instead of throwing it to him when he was there or following him, which I'm assuming the plan was, you know, he didn't. He threw it here. Well, by the time he threw it, that guy had already went over here. Mm-hmm. And at one time that happened where he threw it to where the guy was, but the guy turned and went that way, and right behind him was the guy for the other team. And the guy was like, "Thank you," and he took off with it. I'm like, come on. Now, I know that kind of stuff will happen, but, you know what I mean? You wonder, again, with them calling it entertainment, there's a lot of money involved in this kind of stuff. I don't know. But the way this segues into what I really wanted to talk about was how right now you've got the great divide in this country between the left and the right, and you've got, you know, everybody up in arms all over the way. And again, we're not political. I did not vote. So bear that in mind for the rest of the shit that's going to come out of my mouth. Everybody is hating on the way Trump is doing the immigration stuff. Mm-hmm. But don't take 2 seconds to watch all of the video clips of Barack Obama talking about it, Bill Clinton talking about it, Hillary Clinton talking about it, Biden. They all deported massive amounts of illegal immigrants. The guy that's in charge of it now, Tom Homan, I think, Barack Obama gave him a medal, some kind of an award for how, you know, for doing his job. Because it's been his job. They act like, the weirdest part is how the leftist politicians and media are calling ICE agents like they're illegal, like they're not following the law, when they're literally, you know, that's their job, to enforce immigration. That's Border Patrol, ICE agents, that's what they do.
Speaking of, real quick, can you open that mini fridge and give me one of them black raspberries?
Give me one of those ICE? See, we support ICE here on the channel. Damn, that's messed up. I didn't even think about that. Well, we just got hated on. Half the country hates the podcast. Oh, no. Oh, dang. So,
if you've never had, these are really good, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Look, ICE is good.
This is the best flavor they have, black raspberry. I totally recommend some ICE.
No. But there are those that want ICE out, John. I'm just saying.
And this ICE is in. The other one, whatever.
Here's the thing. Are there times that you can seem like it's a dystopian police state where they go too far? Absolutely. That definitely happens. But in the events we're going to talk about here today, both of the individuals that died, both Renee Good and Alex Pretty or whatever. Pretty. They made him prettier. We'll talk about that too. There's a surefire way they would not have died if they hadn't have been down there impeding on their investigations, trying to stop him. They weren't. See, the leftist media and those that support all this, they keep calling them protesters. They're not protesters. They're agitators. Mm-hmm. They were...
Because they're interfering.
Interfering. That's not protesting. Protesting is you on the sidewalk with your stupid sign, yelling whatever crap you believe in, no matter what it is, left, right, up, down, doesn't matter. That's a protest.
Yeah, you can protest like they did at the school here for the student who was another student.
Exactly.
But they didn't block the roads.
They didn't block, exactly. That's illegal, to block the roads. And if you get hit or ran over, too bad. That's dumb. You're taught as a child, don't play in the street. Don't be stupid. I mean, it's classic fuck around and find out. I mean, what?
Well, us as children, we played in the street.
Well, we did. That's fair. But we also yelled car and got the fuck out of the way when shit was, when they were coming.
I forget that's a thing throughout everywhere. And I didn't know. I always thought it was more localized. Like, hey, we yelled out car, but then everybody says it.
Dude, when we were younger, we had a hide and seek game we'd play where we'd all be in the front yard by the ditch, and as soon as the car come, we'd all run to hide, and the goal was to be completely hidden before the car came by.
So they couldn't see you.
Yeah, we did that all the time, man. That was back in the day. But these individuals now, they have been brainwashed into believing that actual federal police are kidnapping people, Americans,
mm-hmm.
and taking them away, and they're actually the good guys trying to stop them. That's what they've been led to believe. And that's just not what's happening. That's not what's happening. I haven't seen any evidence to back up those claims. When I looked at the evidence, I see quite the opposite. And Renee Good, now in her case, I know we talked about it before, and we didn't actually use that and I'm glad we didn't, because like we said, now there's been so much more information come out on her case, plus now there's this Alex Pretty guy. I don't think, now that it's all the smoke's cleared and we've seen all the angles, we know everything, I don't think she, unlike some other people, I don't think she actually intended to hit the guy with the car. I don't think that was her goal. I don't think she said, I'm going to hit this gas and I'm running this motherfucker over. I don't think that was the case. Go ahead.
Well, see, I don't know if that was her intent, right?
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, we'll never know now.
We'll never know now, exactly.
But at first, I did question until other footage come out, and I was like, well, maybe she was talking to this guy out the window, and then she just decided to drive off real quick. But when I saw the other angle, she was looking forward. Yeah. Was she trying to turn away? And still bumped him anyway,
The roads were icy, and that's what some people claim. But the problem comes when, number one, they were there in the first place to block them. They're blocking the road. They were there to stop them from doing their job.
Renee Good
and her wife, who was outside of the car filming. And this is where you really get to the
they're trying to get some content at that point.
It feels that way. Maybe they were. I don't know if they had a channel or what they were doing. But it gets interesting when you hear the wife say, "Drive, baby, drive," because they tried to open the door and the guy, his hand slipped off the handle. He was saying, "Get the fuck out of the car."
And the wife was trying to open the passenger side, and it was locked.
It was locked, so neither one of them were able to open the doors.
Yeah.
She yells for Renee to drive, baby, drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have got her evading arrest. They're going to take you at this point. That's lawful. You had a chance to leave. You blocked the street. Now they're coming to get you, and they have the right to detain you and arrest you because you are breaking the law.
There was a lot of split decision.
Yep, this all happened with fractions of seconds.
Yes.
She made the mistake to try to flee the scene. You can't do that. That's, again, against the law. And in doing so, she hit that agent with her car who reportedly had internal bleeding. He had to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that should not have happened, and it wouldn't happen if they hadn't been there doing that dumb shit in the first place. And that's just a fact. And the same thing can be said about this Alex Pretty guy, although his is much worse, in my opinion, because.
But to go to Renee though, I don't think he should have fired 3 times, but I believe it was within his lawful right.
Yeah.
Because he was hit with the car.
Yeah.
When I say hit, the camera doesn't show that like he was ran down.
You hear him go, like it hits him in the gut or whatever. But
he was at least bumped out of the way, and there was some internal damage.
Yeah.
And they said there was internal bleeding. I mean, he could have had a small bruise that has some internal bleeding, and it sounds worse.
It sounds worse than it really is.
I don't know, but going by the footage, it doesn't look like he should have ended it with 3 shots.
Yeah.
The
where it gets interesting here when it comes to that is apparently has a lot to do with the training. These are not your local street cops. This is a federal officer, and they're trained to, when they pull their weapon, it's to stop whatever they're shooting at. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to wound somebody. They're not trying to shoot the tires out and all the things everybody else said they should have done. When they pull their weapon, it's business. It's go time. And that's another thing that these protesters are confused about. They think they're dealing with street cops. They are not dealing with street cops.
Yeah, like Paul Blart.
Well, this isn't mall cops. They're not riding around on segways. No. And in fact, what I'm saying is correct when you hear the first thing out of the mouth of the wife. Why were you using real bullets? Do you think this is cosplay? We're not cosplaying here. These aren't riot cops that are dealing with people with paintball guns, rubber bullets. No, these armed federal agents are arresting pedophiles, murderers that are here illegally. People you would not wanting living near you. But these people are led to believe they're kidnapping American citizens in the middle of the daytime. First of all, that's kind of weird. If they were really doing that, they'd be doing it at night. Sneaking around like a bunch of fucking ninjas. You know what I mean? That's what they would be doing if they were doing what they're saying they're doing. Are there other things they're doing that they shouldn't be doing? Maybe. But again, judging by the evidence, this Alex Purdy guy, prime example. They show footage from a week ago that the left tried to say was AI generated, which was proven not to be. But there was some AI generated footage that was supposed to make him look better than he was. But this footage literally shows him a week before he died yelling and cussing, trying to spit at the officers, kicking out the taillight of the vehicle.
Breaking it, yeah.
Breaking it, quite, yeah, definitely. They tackled him, supposedly bruised or broke one of his ribs. My question, though, why didn't they arrest him right then?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they arrest him? And they claim because it was a heated situation. They were surrounded by a bunch of other people. You know, this to me is one of the biggest problems here. They need to come in to these locations and bring down the hammer of the gods. These people should not be continuously allowed to destroy property, you know, attack federal officers. They can't be allowed to keep doing this, but they are. President Trump goes, I'm going to do the Insurrection Act. I can do it. It's a really good act. I don't feel like I need to now. But I'm like, dude, it's all BS, dude. It's all BS. It's all a show. Because one of the first things you would do, dude, yeah, do the dance, cut the federal funding. Cut it out. No more monies. You're cut off. If you're not going to follow the law, then good luck to you. Minnesota, California, New York, you know, bye. Mm-hmm. But they don't do that. Why not? January 6th, when the liberals were in charge, they were burying people under the prison. They were going after the MAGA Meemaws, you know, when they opened the doors and just let them in. All them old ladies just thought they were going on a tour of the Capitol, not realizing they were breaking the law. They were rounded up, put in jail. They arrested people that weren't even there that day because they were agitators. But they'll let these people burn down whole cities and they don't do anything? It's all designed to get the right and the left to fight. You know, to get them mad and fighting at each other. Because that's what they want. This Alex Purdy guy, he was packing. Supposedly legally, but I don't think he had his license on him. What are you looking for? I think he didn't, from what I'd heard, he didn't have his license on him.
My stomach started growling.
Uh-oh. Get it. Get one of them good bars. Get our sponsor for this episode. We're sponsored by Ice and Hannah Bars. Or Anna Bars. What'd I say? Hannah? Hannah. Oh, God.
These are great, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I had one last time. It was really good.
You had one in the last episode. From like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But the from what you learn is that he was part of a signal group, which was sort of like a paramilitary styled group that actively search for ICE agents. They take pictures of their license plates. They track them. They communicate so they can like find them and stop them.
Can you hear that?
I cannot. You got the headphones on. I don't hear it. Is it that bad?
I could have heard it without the headphones.
Stomach diamonds. No, I didn't hear it at all, actually. But, so they tell them not to have your license on you. Don't have your identification on you. So when you get arrested, you can make it as difficult as you humanly possibly can for the officers that are arresting you. You don't tell them who you are. You don't tell them nothing. Now they've got to go through extra hoops to find out who you are. So if that's the case, and he didn't have his license, didn't have his ID, didn't have his right to carry paperwork on him, then he broke a law. Number one. Resisting arrest. Number two. That's it. That's enough right there. Now,
can't they ask you if you're legally carrying and you are carrying that day? Can't they ask you, say, do you have your license and you have to show it, right?
I would, yeah. If not, they should. I mean, if you have a weapon on you, a firearm, you should have to.
Because I think I've seen videos like that where
yeah.
they were basically interrogating the person because they were carrying, but everything checked out and they couldn't do anything.
Right. I think, I don't know any of the details behind it, but if you have a concealed handgun or weapon on you like that, officers of the law should be able to determine whether or not you legally have the right to have that. Because we don't know who you are. You could be planning to go down to McDonald's and shoot the place up. I mean, they need to know that you have the right to have that gun. Again, I don't know the laws on any of that. I've never even shot a real gun in my life. But the way this went down is the officers already knew this guy because he's a problem. He'd been damn dude, you inhaled that motherfucker. So they knew this guy. They had interactions with him before, so he'd have been in the system. He was resisting arrest. 5 guys, it seemed like, were trying to get him, tackle him, get him down. They discovered he had a weapon, which he had that weapon on him in that first video from a week ago. You can see it in the footage. I guess they just didn't see it. Or this might have ended then, But one officer gets that gun.
It in the back, right?
Yeah, that back holster or whatever. Officer gets the gun out of the holster. And I think he says, gun. And he gets the gun away. The gun goes off. And now reportedly that particular style of handgun is notorious for going off like that. So he gets the gun away. He's hollering, gun. The gun goes off. They see him reach around, but I don't think he was reaching for the gun. Maybe instinctually because he felt it was gone. But anyhow, he's up and he's got something black in his hand. They shoot and kill him. They unload on him. That happened. It took like 4 or 5 times longer for me to say that than that event actually took place. Split of a second. The whole time that's happening, they're surrounded by people yelling and screaming at them, blowing whistles, cussing. Can you imagine how distracting and nerve-wracking that whole thing would be? Because every one of those agents...
did they react to the first gunfire?
I think so. I think they reacted to the officer saying gun,
so,
and then it went off. He's holding something black in his hand, which was his phone. They wasted him. It's an event that should not have taken place. But it did because he was there to agitate. He was armed. He resisted arrest. The gun accidentally went off because it's known to do that, and he got destroyed. And I don't see any other way that scenario could have played out given the way it went down. Other than if he hadn't have been there. And I said this before too.
He had a right to be there.
He had a right to be there.
And he had a right to protest.
But he wasn't doing that.
He wasn't
doing that. But you're right. He had a right to be there with his weapon if he had his legal, that's what is it, First Amendment, whatever. I don't know. I'm not up on all that. I'll be honest. But he had the right
to carry, a right to bury.
That's right. He had the right to be packing, and he could have been on that sidewalk with his sign yelling until he was hoarse, and that would have been totally fine. But that's not what these people are doing. They want to be actively, aggressively fighting with, federal officers. That doesn't end well. You get shot and do that. I personally, and I said this before, if you're going to go down there with that intention, you better not bring a weapon with you. Because you're going to die. That's just, because those officers at the end of the day, they got families they want to go home to as well. They have the legal right to be there. They have the legal right. They have a license to... You don't have any of those things. You don't have the legal right to be there impeding in their investigations and threatening them. You don't.
See, how would it have gone down if he didn't bring a loaded weapon with him? Would he have gone that far? Or would he have just protested?
See, I don't know. He had it with him the first time when he was kicking the taillight out on that vehicle.
Well, you got a lot of power when you're packing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, he was extra ballsy because he had a weapon with him.
Because, if it's just like, say, a regular argument between you and another man, right?
Yeah.
Well, would you stand your ground or would you back down if you're packing or not?
If you're packing. Well, yes, I see your point, except for the fact that in both of these events, he didn't appear to be going for that weapon. So just having it on you doesn't make you any tougher unless you pull it in the situation.
But it gives you power. It's like empowerment.
I guess so. I guess you could see it as empowerment.
So I'm saying is he may not have went that far if he wasn't packing.
If he didn't have it, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was almost, I wouldn't say premeditated, because you don't go there and you're going to say, I'm going to, by doing that.
Right. Now, I've heard some say they believed it was by cop because his wife had left him.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at, yeah.
And apparently citing his radical political views as the reason. His parents had some interesting things to say about him, like they were worried about him. I don't know the details because it's like all these stories. You hear something, then you hear, no, that was fake, but it was this. Oh, it's back and forth like watching tennis. I don't know all the details. Like I heard he was a nurse, but then heard he quit. I heard he got fired. I don't know what you don't really know what the truth is here. But other than that video footage,
he was fired after that.
Oh, he was, no, for sure. But here's my thing, and this is okay. Now, this is where we shit on the right now. Okay, the very first thing, and Christy Gnome, I think her name is Christy Little Gnome. She's like I don't know what is she, head of the DOJ? she's head of the Department of Justice, right? DOJ, I think so. She comes out and says he had this firearm, 2 magazines, and he was there to do the maximum carnage.
The white woman?
Yep. He wanted to kill as many agents as he could.
Who replaced Jen Psaki, whatever?
No, that's that blonde chick. That's the other lady. I can't remember what her name is. I think.
Oh, you're talking about the brown-headed one?
Yes.
With the cowboy hat. Come on.
When she said that, I was like, what? If that was the case, why didn't he go for the gun? Shoot, when he kicked that taillight out, he should have pulled it in and started shooting them when they popped out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
That is clearly not what his plan was.
He wouldn't have given them a chance if that's what his intention was.
If he went down there to kill as many agents as he could, he wouldn't have let them tackle him and take his freaking gun. He would have shot
them when they were in the vehicle.
Exactly. That would have been perfect. He just unloaded on them. Mm-hmm. That was dumb. They shouldn't have said that because that really made them look stupid. Because that was stupid. That was the dumbest crap they could have said. And again, that's why I'm saying it's fake. Because they both sides do and say dumb shit to fuel each other. It's all 6, 7, 6. Yeah, I know. While I was doing it, I was like, ah, dang it. But yeah, it's a whole lot of nonsense. But the way everybody reacted to it is the most shocking part for me, because you have people that watch the exact same footage and have completely opposite viewpoints on it. And this stuff is starting to get so bad, it's spreading into YouTubers, for example, who aren't political people. Mm-hmm. Moist Critical is one guy, funny YouTuber. Yeah. He literally came out and was saying they assassinated this guy, they murdered him in cold blood. If you don't see it that way, you're an idiot. And I was like, what? And then you got other people who are saying the exact opposite.
People have a right to interpret the footage their own way.
Sure, definitely.
You don't tell people how to.
Right, but that's what these people are doing. And I'm sitting back watching this footage and I'm going, how can either one of you on either side of the aisle here claim 100% dominance of this footage? It makes no sense, because there's nuance to it. This is gray area material. This isn't black and white, but all these people are making it a black and white. It's either all this way or it's all that way, and that's just ridiculous. How can you? I don't get that. And that's what we're seeing. This energy that the left has, that are out on the streets rioting, because it's not protesting. Why don't they take that? Because they're very much against ICE, our sponsor for this video. Why don't they take that energy and put it into the legal system as far as getting some bills changed. They don't like the way the immigration is in this country. Get in politics and change it. You don't like the way ICE agents handle the operation? Get into it, the government, and change it legally. Get the bills passed, change the laws. That's how you do stuff. They don't, because that's not what this is about. It's all bullshit. It's all optics, it's all propaganda, it's all feelings over facts, and both sides are doing it. Mm-hmm. Look at the Super Bowl. We talked about the Super Bowl last episode, how you got Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny came out saying, we didn't even mention this part, where he went on, was it SNL? He went on somewhere performing, and he spoke something in Spanish. And he said in English, if you don't understand what I said, you got 3 months to figure it out, or 3 months to learn Spanish. Mm-hmm. He was talking about performing at the Super Bowl. Well, what did that do? That pissed off all the Americans that don't speak Spanish, who are football lovers. Mm-hmm. Why would you do something like that? And then you got Kid Rock and his bunch doing their, American. It's so nuts now, dude. If you have an American flag, you're considered an evil racist for having the American flag. What?
Did you see footage from the Super Bowl from people who were in attendance?
I did see some.
Because they're all talking about, it was lit at the game, during the halftime show. And there's footage of somebody going like this.
No, yeah.
And they're recording around.
Yeah.
And there's, just a handful of people, doing their little dance. But everybody else is just like...
What the hell is this? A bunch of Hank Hills out there talking crap. I saw footage of other people that were dancing because they showed on their phone they were watching Kid Rock's halftime show with headphones on. They're doing this. I'm like, what? They're actually there, but watching the other one. And I'm like, dude, this is all being done by design to stir the pot and get both sides continuously fighting. All while that's happening, you keep hearing talk of civil war. Mm-hmm. We got World War III right around the corner. Hell, we could be bombing Iran right now. I have no idea. I mean, we've surrounded them with ships. This was after we snuck in there and stole the president of Venezuela. We stole his ass. Mm-hmm. We're threatening Colombia. We're about to plant a flag in Greenland. I mean, what? What the fuck is going on, dude? It's crazy, but it's really not new. There's been a ton of presidents in the past that have tried to get their hands on Greenland. We've been trying to get a hold of Greenland since Kennedy, I think. Maybe further back. We've always had, there's been issues with Venezuela and Cuba and Colombia. That's always been a thing. Iran has been on the list for a long time now. Mm-hmm. Back when we were going after Afghanistan and Kuwait and Iraq. And Iran was always one on the list. I don't know. Maybe I think there's a plan. And the plan moves forward. We've talked about this before. I've heard the best description of the Republican and the Democrats, the mm-hmm. liberal and the conservatives. They're both in cars speeding down the highway, right? They're both going the same direction. The only difference is the liberals are speeding. The conservatives are going the speed limit, but they're all going the same direction. The plan still keeps going, but people don't see it. They don't realize it. Again, that's been done by design. That's why there's only two. You got two options. That's it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, you got to pick a side.
Come on. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's nonsense.
And then either side you side with.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
You don't agree with everything.
No.
You're just like, I agree with 60%.
Mm-hmm. As they say, as people have said before, the lesser of two evils mm-hmm. is still evil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but and not to mention, when you pick your side, your puppet, as I say, they only do maybe a fraction of what they said they were going to do. Mm-hmm. If they do that.
And they don't do anything within that first year. They act like they didn't remember anything, and then they come back and they say, I did this.
Look at Trump.
What's the caveat to what was done?
Yeah. Look at Trump's dumbass talking about, he campaigned on releasing all of the most transparent administration in the history. He was going to give us the 9/11 files, the Kennedy files, the Epstein files. We were going to crack open Area 51 or bring out the bodies. They were going to do all this. Going to tell us about the drones. Well, they know what the drones are. They get 30-second soundbite of what that was. We talked about that already. I mean, they ain't told us shit. Nothing. And then when he talks about, y'all still talking about that Epstein guy? Why are we still talking about this guy? You said you were going to tell us everything. And then you said there was nothing. That was a Democratic hoax. It's not even real. There are no files. You said the files were on your desk. What are you talking about? It's all, dude. And then
it took how long to release redacted?
Yep. And then the redactions, dude. Do you know, we didn't even talk about this. There were nude photos of victims, like underage kids, I think, not redacted.
Really?
The media, of all people, had to contact the DOJ and go, yeah, you released some files that have nudity on them. You might want to fix those. Other files that were redacted here, same files were released that weren't redacted here. 6, 7. No. What? It was crazy, dude. Crazy. And then they would redact stuff that didn't need to be. Like, remember Pizzagate? We talked about that. That's a conspiracy. That's nothing. But yet they redacted one-word email from Epstein sent to a person. The person was redacted, the recipient of this one-word email, and the word was just pizza. Why did you have to redact the person that received the pizza email?
It's code word.
Come on, man. It's nonsense, dude. So it took forever for them finally to release the files that didn't exist. How anybody can still look at the years with Sleepy Joe that we just dealt with, that corpse that was in the White House, and now the shenanigans of Trump, how anybody can look at that and go, well, can't wait till I vote for my puppet next year,
Yeah.
What is wrong with these people? It makes my brain hurt that they still believe this system is even slightly legit. Like literally important. Like the people that say, it's not good, but it's all we have. Okay, I can understand your rationale, but it's the ones that are like, you need to get out there and vote. Look, I voted, and they wear their sticker, and they're like, it's very important. You got to get out there. And both sides do it. And I'm like, why? Show me the evidence that supports your claims that voting actually matter.
Oh, who'd you vote for?
I'll sit here and wait.
Oh, well, I voted for. Why'd you vote for that person? Yeah. Oh, because of this. Well, I voted for this person because of this.
Exactly.
And then you're no longer talking no more.
Right.
Because they support the other.
Yeah. They cut off family members, lifelong friends over. And that's more often than not, and this is just a fact that I've seen, the left are cutting off people on the right because of that. Like, if you voted for Trump, you are Satan. You're the great Satan. Why? Because he's evil, he's racist, he's homophobic, Where's your evidence to back... Well, nothing. You have nothing. You can't... There isn't concrete thing you can... Like, here's the latest one. Like, the White House sent out images that showed the Obamas dressed in, like, monkey suits. But... They showed all of them dressed in some goofy ass thing, but they focused on that because they're black.
Yeah.
Dude. Come on, dude. Come on. Now, yeah, over the years, has that been a slang term for black people? It has been. But there's also, albino gorillas. If he'd have made Biden an albino gorilla, would that carried the same weight? No, of course. They wouldn't even, they wouldn't have blinked. So and my favorite is, the Babylon Bee, which is a satire news group or organization, whatever. They're on Instagram. They post stuff all the time. They do videos on YouTube. They posted like a fake news article that showed a bunch of chimpanzees in suits, and they were saying they are all outraged after the administration, posted images of them looking like the Obamas. I was like, dude, that's hilarious. But again, it's all done. They just keep, both sides just love pouring gasoline on the raging fire. That's what it is. And people love to be led by their feelings more than anything else. And they just love to be mad and angry. And it's like, you realize it's all BS? No, I guess not. Because if they realized it, they might not be all up in arms over everything.
At the end of the day, they're all on the same team.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. They're all in the back drinking a beer, laughing their asses off at their fucking secret society parties, drinking baby blood and whatever.
What can we do next time? We need some distractions, you know?
Mm-hmm. Nicki Minaj calls herself Trump's #1 fan and shows off gold card visa. She's like, she's in it to win it, dude.
Uh-huh.
And I did not know this, but she is from Trinidad or something like that. And she got a gold card visa. Like she's, I guess, if I'm understanding that correctly, she's now, like she got fast tracked into becoming an American citizen.
She paid for it?
She paid for it, yeah.
How much was it? Like $1 million or?
Probably, I don't know.
$5 million? It was
directly to the,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for them, that's just change anyway.
Yeah, that ain't nothing. And again, it's all, so now she's talking all kinds of crap. People are talking crap on her. They just had the Grammys, and they were talking some smack on her at the Grammys. But speaking of the Grammys, and this sucks because she's Irish, I just found out, so I'm a little, I take this one personal. But stupid ass Billie Eilish, did you hear what she did?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what a mistake that was. No one is illegal on stolen land. Well, the Native Americans would like their sacred land back that your $14 million mansion is on. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not happy about that because, man, that's the mistake that has not gone away. They got random people showing up at her place going, we want in, to hang out since it's,
it's our land.
It's not illegal for us to come on here. And she's got a massive wall, massive security system. So rules for thee and not for me. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. And the same thing is happening with the people to Minnesota. Speaking of that, they interviewed this one liberal white women, by the way, are the worst. The worst. They're terrible. And they interviewed this one Karen from Minnesota, and she's talking about to the news about how, well, see, what we did is we created checkpoints, and we got this, system in place so that we know who's coming and going in our neighborhoods. I mean, man, that sounds like borders. That sounds like, keeping track of who's coming and going. Yeah, what? John, I can't anymore. I don't understand how they can be opposed to this thing and then turn around and do that very thing they're opposed to and not get it. It's hilarious. People are ripping her to shreds too but the Billie Eilish thing is hilarious. Because that Native American group has literally contacted her and said they would like to have their sacred land back, and she has, as of my most recent looking into it, she had not said anything about it.
Yeah, because there was something about it because she actually said that it was their land, but
Yep.
So they already have her recorded.
Yeah.
Saying that.
All right, now I will say, get out of all this nonsense and end on some cool news, nerdgasm as well. Do you remember the old Highlander movies and TV series?
No, I think I'm too young for that.
Dang, man, shots fired. That was, I don't remember now, right? It's the guy that played Raiden in the original Mortal Kombat movies. I can't remember what his name is right offhand, but
I never actually saw them.
You never saw the old Mortal Kombat movies? What?
No.
Damn, dude. All right, well, it's this guy, and he was the Highlander in the movie series. And then there was another guy that played him in the TV show. I watched all that, and they actually crossed over. Like, they had the movie guy as a Highlander because they weren't playing the same character. Mm-hmm. It was all pretty cool. Well, Henry Cavill is ready to unsheath his sword in the first look at the Highlander reboot from John Wick director Chad. I'm not even going to try. But that's badass, dude. So the John Wick director is going to be getting Henry Cavill, who's Superman. Well, the last Superman, not the most recent.
That I haven't seen.
God bless America.
I saw the one from 2006.
There's some photos from it. Looks pretty sweet. Looking forward to that. But also on a personal level, I'm looking forward to this blurry thing that you
Crystal
probably
Lake
can't see.
series will be released in December of 26.
Yes.
Oh, so a series.
Ooh, yeah, Crystal Lake series. I can't wait. That is gonna be frickin' sweet.
Probably Netflix or something.
Well, I'll be watching it on my special website that I use. So there's that. Was Marines in a restricted military training area. Not sure what that word is. The name of the base. It's a restricted base. So it's not like just, out in the woods where anybody can walk up. It's a restricted military base. Reports seeing a Bigfoot. And they claimed that while doing a training exercise in this restricted military area, they ran across a Sasquatch. So, it was pretty intense. If you want to see more about that.
So it was Sasquatch that you couldn't say?
No, that's an old. We've been calling Sasquatch Sam Squanch. We got that from Sean, the EVP hitman, from back in the day. Man, I just realized I'm getting too tall. I gotta shrink down. Oh, but what is that?
Those are your beard hairs.
Oh, it's these. It's those.
Yeah, your beard hairs there.
My Don Kings.
Your goat. Yeah, it's getting on the camera.
Now he always called it Sam Squanch. Do you remember back in the day when the NSA created this giant information collection facility that was going to gather all emails, text messages, phone calls? This is a massive, but they kept building. They started building this in 2002. Now, according to the claims here, again, have not looked this up. I know that it can store a lot, but this is outrageous if this is real. That it has enough storage space for every phone call, every text message, and every email for every American for the next 500 years. How much space do you think that would be? What's the terabytes on that?
I think it's... After terabyte, you go to petabyte, right?
Yeah, and gigabytes, giggity bytes. I don't have no idea.
Well, it's kilobits, kilobytes, megabytes, or megabits, megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gigabytes, and then it's terabytes, then it's petabytes.
Petabytes,
and that one I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know how far.
I don't even know. There's nothing available. As far as, the name might already exist, but
if that's true, dude, that one's hard to believe. I'd need to see some receipts on that one, but 500 years? How can they even predict that? Because you don't even know, just in the last, 100 years, the technology has changed where there weren't phone calls 100 years ago, right? Well, let's see. That would have been 1926. There were phones back then, but not anything you could have.
So does it gets text messages too? Because most people text now versus call.
They're claiming that according to that I read, all cell phone calls, all text messages, and all emails for every American for the next 500 years. That's hard to believe. It's hard to even wrap your brain around that facility has the storage capacity for all that data. Again, I don't even know how they predict that far out. What is it going to look like? Maybe they're factoring in compression of data, like it's going to get smaller and more compact and easier to store. Maybe I don't know.
Because if it's just numbers and letters, then yeah. And then if they take audio messages and have the transcript of it, then that's just letters and numbers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe it's not the actual phone call. It's like
being recorded. Yeah,
not the audio of it.
Maybe there's the to's and froms, who's calling who and what.
Okay, that makes more sense. That's just wild. I thought that was an interesting.
And then the actual recording might just be in the cloud.
That's the cloud. God, that reminds me. My phone keeps telling me I'm almost out of space.
Mine tells me that all the
I
time.
thought I was paying for extra space. I've already filled that up. I'm not doing that again because my phone, this one right here, has got 512 gigs. Mm-hmm. I hadn't even filled it up halfway, and I got tons of stuff on here, so I ain't worried about that. So we're wrapping this episode up.
We're about to do some.
Thanks for listening.
Paragamers.
Paragamers, yeah, dude. We're about to kick that off again. It's been about a minute.
Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo Switch edition. Because I was going to do the Wii U edition.
Mm-hmm.
The world's a lot smaller, but my Wii U does not want to read the disc for some reason. So we'll do Switch edition.
Oh,
not goodness. Bedrock, because, we can do Bedrock on Switch, but I want to do the limited world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Because we're not going to be doing, huge builds and stuff, It's about survival.
Exploring and surviving. Yeah, I hadn't played in about a minute, dude. I'm looking forward to that.
And I think the last update on it might be the aquatic.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't played a lot since that update, and I know there's been updates after that. I've played some, and we played mostly PC with a lot of mods. Man, we love mods, dude. If you played with a lot of mods, you'd get addicted to them because there's so much cool shit you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But did you have, as we wrap this episode up, did you have a quote for this one?
No, because
I do.
Well, good.
I got a quote.
Okay,
that actually fits. Now, this quote is one of my, I have a couple of quotes I say all the time.
Yeah.
But this one, when you consider a lot of the topics we talked about on this episode, this would have fit the last episode better. For this one, I could say, question
somebody
everything.
Somebody has to go to the restroom.
I had to have it. Question everything and believe very little. I say that all the time,
Mm-hmm.
And I added, years later, including closely held dogmas of your own making. Because that just completes it. Because if you can question everything, especially stuff that you personally believe, that you keep close to the chest, then that's good for everybody. But not a lot of people can do that. But the one I was originally thinking of was conspiracy happens, and that's not a theory. Thanks for watching.
But the other saying goes into how I've been thinking a lot lately, about life after death and all that, and it goes into religion, but that's a whole other episode.
That's a whole separate podcast. Yeah. We got stuff to talk about there too. All right. Catch you in the next episode.